Ford Field just got its new nightmare fuel, Josh Sweat in Honolulu Blue. The Motor City finally has its second monster off the edge, and the NFL has been put on notice. Welcome back to Lions Nation Fan Report, the heartbeat of Detroit football. Smash that like button, subscribe right now, and don't forget to drop your thoughts below. Because this is not just another transaction, this is the signing that redefines who the Lions are. Josh Sweat is here, and he's everything Lions fans have been waiting for. 8 sacks last season, over 50 pressures, and the memory still fresh of him destroying Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl with 2.5 sacks under the brightest lights. That's not hype, that's resume. Sweat has proven he can win one-on-one. He can close games, and he can terrify offensive coordinators. And now, he's ours. For years, Detroit has built its defense around Aiden Hutchinson. Hutch is relentless, a motor that never stops, the emotional leader who embodies grit. But he's been alone, facing double teams, chips, and entire schemes designed to slow him down. With Sweat lining up opposite him, that era is over. Hutchinson demands the double, Sweat punishes the single. Together, they close the pocket like jaws. Picture the geometry. Hutch crashes inside, forcing protection to collapse. Sweat bends around. The arc. Arms extended, legs churning, slicing behind the quarterback's blind side. Nowhere to step, nowhere to throw, nowhere to hide. That's the new Detroit defense. Relentless, suffocating, terrifying, and don't underestimate the ripple effect. With Hutch and Sweat commanding attention, the linebackers play freer, the secondary has more time, the interior gets more one-on-ones. Every level of this defense improves simply by adding Sweat to the mix. This isn't just about sacks. Sweat sets the edge in the run game, forcing runners back inside toward help. He uses his length to disrupt passing lanes, knocking down throws before they leave the pocket. He brings playoff pedigree, the experience of knowing how to handle the pressure of January football. Detroit doesn't just gain an athlete, they gain a closer. Think about the NFC North now. Jordan Love at Lambeau, trapped between Hutch and Sweat, launching prayers into the cold night. Justin Fields, scrambling in Chicago, only to be swallowed before the line of scrimmage. Kirk Cousins in Minnesota panicked, his timing shattered by the relentless storm of pressure. And then think about the playoffs. Picture Ford Field shaking, a divisional round matchup, the building deafening, Hutch and Sweat pinning their ears back with the season on the line. That's not just speculation anymore. That's what Lions football looks like today. Financially, the move is smart. Sweat's deal lands around $18–19 million annually over 3 years. That's not elite edge money. That's smart money for a Pro Bowl caliber disruptor. For Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, it's the perfect balance. Impact without wrecking the cap. And make no mistake, this is a statement of intent. The Lions aren't here to participate. They're here to hunt, and culturally, he's perfect. Sweat isn't flashy, doesn't chase headlines, doesn't fold under lights. He's a grinder. He works. He fits the exact DNA Campbell has carved into this team. You don't just get a player, you get a Lion in every sense of the word. But here's where the story bends into the tension every Lions fan knows too well. Because as perfect as this sounds, as real as it feels, the truth is that right now, Josh Sweat to Detroit is still just a possibility, a speculation whispered in the shadows of front offices and echoed loudly across fan bases desperate for confirmation. And yet, doesn't it feel different this time? Doesn't it feel heavier, closer, more believable than the dozens of rumors we've lived through before? Think back, Lions Nation. How many times have we been teased? How many times have we heard of superstars being linked to Detroit only to watch them land elsewhere? From draft picks that slipped away to free agents who chose brighter lights, the heartbreak has been part of our DNA for decades. We lived through Barry Sanders retiring early, through Calvin Johnson walking away in his prime, through Matthew Stafford, giving everything he had and leaving without a Lombardi to his name. Heartbreak is the scar tissue of this franchise. But now, in 2025, doesn't it feel like that scar tissue has hardened into armor? Doesn't it feel like this team is no longer cursed but chosen? Josh Sweat fits that narrative like a glove. He's not the flashy superstar chasing endorsements. He's not the diva demanding headlines. He's the grinder, the quiet killer, the man who goes to work and leaves chaos in his wake. And when you place that type of player opposite Aiden Hutchinson, the identity of the Detroit Lions defense becomes something out of nightmares. Opponents don't just prepare, they panic. Offensive coordinators don't just adjust, they scrap entire sections of their playbooks. That's the domino effect we've been begging for. Now, close your eyes and imagine the moments we live for. It's late December at Lambeau Field. Snow swirling, breath visible, the division on the line. 3rd and 7, Jordan Love takes the snap. Hutchinson bull rushes the guard. Sweat bends the corner with that long stride, and Love is trapped. He goes down under the weight of both monsters, the ball flying loose, the Lions recovering to seal the game. The roar of Lions fans at Lambeau, drowning out the cold, echoing across the Midwest. That's not just a highlight. That's a statement. Picture January at Ford Field, the first home playoff game in years. The stadium is vibrating, a cauldron of blue and silver. The opposing quarterback lines up on 3rd down, Sweat on one side, Hutch on the other. The snap comes, the pocket caves in 2 seconds flat. The ball is forced out early, fluttering into the arms of a waiting linebacker. Touchdown Detroit. The place erupts. The kind of eruption this city has waited generations to feel, the kind of eruption that turns dreams into destiny and then take it one step further. Imagine Super Bowl Sunday. The Lions, after decades of jokes, decades of heartbreak, standing under the brightest lights. Hutchinson, snarling, Sweat lining up across, both ready to unleash hell. That's the type of defensive pairing that wins championships. That's the kind of tandem remembered not just in Detroit, but across NFL history. We talk about the Steel Curtain, about the '85 Bears, about the Legion of Boom. Why not us? Why not Hutch and Sweat leading the Motor City defense into legend? This isn't just about X's and O's. This is about culture, about identity. For years, the Lions were seen as the league's lovable losers, the franchise that found ways to collapse. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have changed that story. They've turned grit into gospel. They've made the Lions feared again. Adding Josh Sweat isn't just adding talent. It's doubling down on that identity, cementing the Lions as the team nobody wants to face in January. But here's where the truth hits. Right now, Josh Sweat in Honolulu Blue is still a dream. The chatter is strong, the fit is undeniable, but the signature isn't on paper. This is speculation, fueled by logic, by need, and by the hunger of a fan base that knows it's close, that knows it deserves more, that refuses to be ignored. And maybe that's the beauty of it, because in Detroit, belief is everything. Belief carried us through winless seasons. Belief carried us through heartbreak. Belief carried us through decades of being overlooked, laughed at, dismissed. And belief is what fuels us now, staring at the possibility of pairing Hutchinson with Sweat and imagining what could be. So here's the question. Lions Nation. Is Josh Sweat the missing piece, the final gear that takes us from gritty contenders to Super Bowl champions? Or is this just another off-season mirage, a headline that disappears when contracts are signed? Elsewhere? Drop your thoughts below, because your voice, your roar, is what turns speculation into momentum. And trust me, in 2025, that roar has never sounded louder.